Hello, this is the Representative Party podcast, and I am just John. And today I'm going to talk about election results. We're going to kind of review it. It's interesting. One of the things I found out, it surprised me. A lot of the things that happened surprised me. So hoping our politicians will listen. I don't necessarily agree with it, but there was a big message sent with the conservative Republicans taking a huge bite of a lot of things, which shows me that it's that the current population of the United States was not too happy with the current administration. It's the way politics goes. So, but what's interesting about it is a lot of the states, although they voted for people-wise, they voted for a Republican, but they passed a lot of liberal amendments and a lot of things you wouldn't see normally if it was really the people were really 100% behind the candidate that they voted for. You all know my opinion of it. I'm amazed that that's the only two we had out of 333 million. But I did vote, regardless of how I voted. I had to hold my nose when I did it. So, but I did my due diligence to at least try to make a decision. And for me, I'm a Christian sinner, so I'm probably hated by a lot of people and a lot of other people, those Christians that aren't sinners. There's no such thing, but some act like it. So the point being is we had a really kind of jumbled up kind of an election. You look here in Missouri, it was Republicans, except in the major cities. Republicans won a lot, and they gained chairs in the state house, in the state senate. They reelected another Republican as a governor, but they also voted for the minimum wage to be raised up to $15 an hour by a year from now, which is kind of surprising for a state that's considered red. It also they also passed the gambling bill for online wagering and stuff. But to my liking, they defeated the riverboat bill down at the Lake of the Ozarks. I don't see where people in Kansas City or St. Louis should have anything to do with what the people that live at the Lake of the Ozarks and what they want. So, for us to say, hey, I know it's your town, it's your cozy little place you'd like to be, but we're going to put a casino down there. We're going to hire 7,000 people that are invisible because you look around and they can't. One of the other things that I just want to caution you about, because I've done my research, and the ballot in Jackson County that we all voted on did not say the same as the amendment that's actually going into the Constitution. Now, words matter to me, and they should matter to you. I'm not sure it would change anybody's opinion, with the exception of, why don't they put the whole thing in there? What are they trying to do? One of the items, and I pulled it up here, on Amendment 3, the abortion issue, which really passed pretty good here in Missouri with it being a pretty conservative state. So that lets you know that people are changing. People are wanting to get along. People have a different view of a person's life is their business, and the economy and the safety and the security of our country is the big government's business. So, but it says what you voted on this here, I think it's in about the first paragraph. It says to establish a right to make decisions about reproductive health care, including abortion, contraceptives, and with any governmental interference that of that right is presumed invalid. Now, what it actually says, it does say all of that, but there's words that when it says including abortion, all this, what the actual amendment says, including but not limited to. Now this is fact. Look it up yourself. I don't care. Or you can just believe me, because I'm not going to lead you astray. If I do, I'm going to come on and apologize, and I'm going to say I'm sorry that I made a mistake. But this is not one of them. And also it talks about at the end of it, it says that to allow abortions to be restricted or banned after fetal viability, except to protect the mother's health. And you would agree with that. But if they would have went on, if you go on and you read the explanation of what they're basing this fetal viability, when they say can it live outside the womb on its own, or just can it survive outside the womb? Now that's without any help. So you can you have a preemie, or you let it go so long that you end up having a preemie, and they could save the baby's life, but they don't have to. They can just set it aside. That's the law. That's what we just voted. Personally, I think it's wrong. I don't think we should have things that way, but that's the way it's written. So, and I'm not telling you how I'm voted on this, because I know you think you know how I did, but you don't. Because I'm part of a representative party. I want people to start this movement to do things just like this. To vote a Republican or a Democrat, but then vote our laws the way we want to live, where we live. Many people want a national like abortion ban. Well, and they say, well, that's what Trump's going to do. That's not what he's going to do. The reason he put these judges in there was to put it back onto the states. Let the states decide what they want to do. And I know this sounds kind of rough, and if you're living in a state that's like in Florida, they're at 6 weeks and you're done. Well, you know what? I'm sorry, but it's the majority of their people. They almost beat it. But in Florida, you got to have 60%. I don't like that either. But in Florida, you have to have 60% to overturn something. So they're staying at 6 weeks, all right? You won't even know you're pregnant sometimes at 6 weeks. So, now I am a pro-life guy. I think, I believe that God knew us in the womb, and that once you meet God, you should do everything you can to stay alive. But and I'm a man, and I know I'm an old man, and people hate old men that go in and try to tell people what to do with their bodies, and I'm not saying that. It's your body. It's your decision, and you have to live with it. You have to, when you die, if you're a Christian, you have to live with that. I don't, I have to live that. I've tried to do the best I can to guess if someone asks my opinion, which doesn't happen very often, but if someone asks my opinion, for me to give an opinion in what I think God would want me to do. Now, I know this doesn't sound like the John most of you know, but I've done a lot of soul searching, and I've spent a lot of time trying to do research to try to do the right thing. I want to do the right thing just because it's the right thing. And whether you're a Christian or not, the rules within the Bible are good rules. So you can write your own book and put some good rules in there and just follow it that way. But I'm just telling you, on the Third Amendment, we were not completely given the full thing. I didn't do a lot of research on the other ones because, you know, they turned out pretty much like I thought they would, and I believed that the abortion bill was going to pass. I didn't think it wasn't going to make it, but I think the non-restrictiveness of the bill is maybe a little rough, and I think the idea that they didn't tell us the truth, you know, because I can tell you, I changed my mind at the last minute because I thought I was wrong about something, and I found out later I was right about it. So the point is, read the actual what's written. I know it's written in legal talk and it's all that kind of crap, but try to understand and then compare it and see if they're just saying, because you can read what you voted on. It sounds like, well, this is just exactly what most people want. Even conservatives want some kind of an issue that takes care of women and rape and incest and all those kind of things. Okay, most people want that, but I'm not sure people want a baby that's born breathing, but because it can only breathe for about an hour or two on its own. Is that viable outside the womb? No baby is viable outside the womb without assistance. You're going to have to feed it. You got to water it. Yeah, all those things. So I don't know what they mean. You know, the fetus has got to be viable outside the room. That's something that's going to have to be decided in the courts, I guess. So anyway, listen, I'm glad the election's over. I'm sorry if your outcome didn't work the way you wanted to it, and congratulations if your people got to where they wanted to go. And I want to tell you something also. And this was only one Hispanic guy that I saw interviewed on a liberal television station this morning, and they were asking him about the election. He said, "Listen," he said, "I absolutely hate Trump. I just can't stand him, but I think he's the man for the job. You know, God uses bad people sometimes. You know, David wasn't a peach. You know, when you think about it, King David, he wasn't a peach. You know, you look up in the Bible and someplace in Romans, it tells you that God uses people for different purposes, and sometimes we don't understand why. So let's just sit back. We should now try to give support to this president like we didn't do in 2016, and we weren't very good at supporting Biden either. So that's a part of this election we got to stop. We got to just say, okay, we've elected somebody, now let's try to make America successful. So with that, I'm going to end this. Once again, I hope you all can live with it. I hope you all can understand that you know, getting all emotional and sad about it is not what we should be expected to do. We should just, we got what we got. So let's what my young granddaughter, when she was a real young granddaughter, she said, you get what you get, don't throw a fit. So that's the base. So with that, I want to tell you all, hey, make somebody smile out there. Give somebody a hug. And for God's sake, let's love one another. And I'll see you next time.